Go over today is pretty much starting up with CMS wave grids, and I wanted to take a few minutes and talk about the WaveNet, which is a relatively recent CIRP product. But anyway, I'll get into that. We're going to talk about how to create CMS wave Cartesian grids, and then set up the model control and spectral inputs. And then we're going to do a demonstration of all of that, exporting and launching, pulling in some answers or some old results. And then if there's time, hopefully there will be a little bit of time at the very end, I'll do a demo of getting the flow and the wave models interacting with each other and the various parameters you need to modify for that. Just switching over to the WaveNet presentation. Hopefully everybody is able to access these files from the website. I updated it maybe about 20 minutes ago, so if you looked a little bit earlier than that, my apologies, they were not earlier. It's been a stormy day and I'm running a little behind today. So, the WaveNet has been created. It's probably been improving for about 3 to 4 years. The main points of contact for WaveNet is Zeki Demirbalık and Liwa Lin. And they put this together basically to have a way to pull information about various different wave gauges and models together so that users can more easily access that information. So I'll show you a little bit about it in just a few minutes, but basically you would zoom into a certain area and select what type of information you want. It would show you where that information is located, and you can select that point, download it, and do various things with it. It's been really useful. Just a couple of notes for right now. The availability of this product is only on the CoreNet, and so we've got the website link right here. You can also access it from the CIRP website under products. Just look for WaveNet, and that will give you a link to get to that. If you have any questions, contact Zeki or Liwa, and their email addresses are there on the bottom of the slide. And through these tools, you can directly get that information, pull out wave roses for the data that you've obtained, and then automatically save out the information exactly as CMS Wave needs that. And so I wanted to go into this first because we're actually going to be pulling in some of this data during the second part of my presentation later. So when you go in, you get a view of the entire United States. And you notice there are a couple of buttons over on the right, and these are the types of wave data that are currently available with this tool, with WaveNet. And so you would just choose which tools you wanted to see points for. Just a note from the developers, there's some problems going on with the Great Lakes data. Right now, evidently, they're reformatting some things, and it's broken our links to their site right now. But the other sites do work, the NGBC buoys, CDIP buoys, with gauges, and WaveWatch 3 gauges. So you would basically zoom into the area of interest, you choose the tool that you want to see, and then you could select one of these gauges, points that we have spread out here, and then view the station information, actually access the data. And it'll pop up some information below the picture that you can go and set a certain time frame, then retrieve that information. So you just, start a certain day. You can also affect the time there if you want, but normally we just do it for the entire days and for a couple of stretches. You don't want to download too much at one time, maybe a couple of months at a time. I doubt a year, depending on the gauges. It would probably take a little while for that to generate, so it's best to do a couple of months at a time. Once you download the data, you're able to pull up different screens and see some information. So right here is just a basic plot of wave height and wind speed. The wind speed is always in red, as noted up here, and then the wave information is down at the bottom. There's a few different buttons at the bottom that you can check to get different types of information for that time period in the gauge that you specified. You can select different roses, and here's a few different varieties of the types of information that you get directly from the site for the period that you've already downloaded. Kind of nice maybe to have in a report or something like that. So after you do that, what we would normally do is come to this last button for spectral output. There's a few different things that you have to specify there, but then it would write all of that information out for the time period you wanted in the exact format that CMS Wave wants as its input for spectral energy.